Good morning, everyone. So yesterday, I created a survey that encouraged people to question their understanding and knowledge of climate change. I got 69 responses to this survey. The sample was selected from Tumblr, Twitter, and Facebook, which admittedly isn't the best place to get responses to a survey, but this was purely for fun for me to collect data to do a video on things that people might not understand. I'm not a professional. How the survey was set up, I asked 4 questions and asked people to rate their answers on a scale of 1 to 5. I also asked a 5th question, what specific questions do you have about climate change, so I can go and answer them at the end of the video, and I got over 50 responses, so thank you so much. So in this video, I'm going to be going over the results of this survey and kind of answering questions that people had and then answering my own questions that I asked in the survey. Let's go. For the first question, how well do you understand climate change? The average answer was about 3.88 out of 5 stars. For the second question, how well do you understand the difference between climate change and global warming? The average was 3.78 out of 5 stars. Question number 3, how well do you understand what greenhouse gases are? The average was 3.93 out of 5 stars. And question number 4, how well do you understand the effects of climate change? We have 4.09 out of 5 stars. So now I'm going to answer the questions that I asked in the survey, the 4 beginning questions, to clear up any confusion that people may have had, because we did not have 5 out of 5 stars, so people are clearly confused. With fun transitions. Rising global temperatures about 1.5 degrees Fahrenheit over the past century, possibly rising another 8 degrees Fahrenheit over the next century, have been accompanied by changes in rainfall resulting in droughts and floods, etc., and intense heat waves. This can also be shown by decreasing acidity, warmth, and levels of the oceans. Global warming is specifically the rising of global average temperature at or near the Earth's surface. Global warming drives the changes in the climate pattern, but it is only a small part of the big picture. This is largely due to an increase in fossil fuel and greenhouse gas emissions. Climate change, on the other hand, includes all major changes in temperature, rain, wind patterns, sea levels rising, ice mass loss, and other extreme weather patterns. This can occur over several years and therefore is very difficult to observe. This does not, however, mean that it's not significant. Greenhouse gases are gases that trap heat in the atmosphere, the most common of which is carbon dioxide. This makes up 81% of all greenhouse gases as of 2016, and this is what is meant when people say carbon emissions. Some other examples include methane, nitrous oxide, and fluorinated gases. The release of these gases by humans in agriculture and corporations, specifically the meat industry, is one of the main causes of climate change. Globally, temperatures will rise, growing season will last longer, air quality will continue to worsen, heat waves, droughts, and hurricanes will become more severe and more common. Sea levels will continue to rise in response to the ice caps melting, and the Arctic will continue to melt until it is completely ice-free. For humans, the health effects are concerning. Weather-related deaths will increase, new weather-related health problems will also increase, and the severity of already existing climate-related health problems will increase. For the last question on this survey, I asked people what specific questions they had about climate change and how we can stop it. These are a few of the most common ones / my personal favorites. One of the ways we as humans can make an effort to slow climate change is to eat wisely. Buy locally grown foods. This cuts down on the transportation and processing of food, a substantial portion of carbon emissions. Go vegetarian or vegan if possible, as 18% of greenhouse emissions come from the meat and dairy industry. Another way is to use green transportation. Walk or use public transit when possible, as transportation accounts for 25% of all carbon emissions. Third way is to waste less. Landfills produce methane, the second most common greenhouse gas. Recycle and compost when possible. It should also be noted that corporations are responsible for a lot of food waste, so holding them accountable and demanding change is necessary. And the fourth way is to reduce your carbon footprint. I included a link down below that outlines different ways you can reduce your carbon footprint, because if I were to include all that in this video, it would be very, very long. You know, I thought so, but on the real, I made this survey when I was supposed to be paying attention in ecology, so it's not perfect, obviously. This is a super interesting question, and I didn't even think about this. To make it simple, yes, a possible increase in biodiversity can be associated with climate change. More species and speciation can happen with the climate change. However, this is also accompanied by extinctions in other existing species. Additionally, extinction happens very quickly, while speciation occurs over thousands of years, so by this explanation, biodiversity is actually decreasing with climate change. It's also very difficult for the already existing species to adapt to the quickly changing conditions. A study shows that large corporations such as the meat and dairy industry account for up to 70% of all greenhouse gas emissions. Transition. Alright, so thank you so much for watching this hopefully informative video. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm thinking of starting a new series that I take surveys on world events that are going on and then breaking it down into a video. And I'm so terrified that someone's going to knock on my door. So maybe, possibly, if you watched all the way to the end, let me know what other surveys you might be interested in filling out. And yeah, that's all I got. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.